Brad Pitt is a very popular actor, deservedly so, who has been in one of my favorite movies over the past few years called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I have some very mixed opinions about Brad Pitt. He's said some things that I really appreciate in the past. Things like coming to the defense of Quentin Tarantino when he was being canceled by the woke mob for, making Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He has also said some things that I don't like as well. But for the most part, it seems like Brad Pitt is one of those rare individuals in Hollywood who actually has some common sense, and that is very hard to find in that place. But in this interview that we're going to be taking a look at here today, he has some very insane things that he wants to talk about, some things that he is basically getting into that's pretty shocking about things that he is dealing with, things that he is going through, and the fact that he believes that he is on his last leg in Hollywood, and that there are some very crazy reasons for why that is, why he is coming to the end of his rope when it comes to working in Hollywood and everything else. And honestly, some of the things that he says here are very shocking about Hollywood in general and everything else. So let's go ahead and get right into it and see what he has to say here. This is Brad Pitt admitting that he is on his last leg of acting career. And then he gets into some of the reasons why. And one of the reasons that he believes that he is coming to the end of his rope when it comes to working in Hollywood is because of this rare illness that he has called prosopagnosia that throughout the sprawling interview, the actor reveals that he believes he has prosopagnosia, better known as face blindness, which leaves him struggling to remember people he's already met at parties. He also speaks quite a bit about loneliness and depression. So this is something that he just really dives into with himself, are some of these things that he is currently dealing with. I always felt very alone in my life, always alone growing up as a kid, alone even out here. And it's really not till recently that I've had a greater embrace of my friends and family. What's that line? It was either Rilke or Einstein, believe it or not, but it was something about when you walk within the paradox, when you carry real pain and real joy simultaneously. This is maturity. This is growth. I was always moving with the currents, drifting in a way and on to the next. I think I spent years with a low-grade depression, and it's not until coming to terms with that, trying to embrace all sides of self, the beauty and the ugly, that I've been able to catch these moments of joy. And then he talks about, what is joy and things that he's struggled with, like addictions. He talks about his addiction to cigarettes and how he has broken that during the pandemic, which honestly, that is one of the things that I really want to do here on this channel is always give people the proper praise for being able to break different addictions that they're struggling with. Even if it's people that I don't like or agree with politically or whatever else, if they are going through an addiction and they break free from that, that is always something that should be admired and something that we should be encouraging more of, because everyone struggles with something at some point. And if there is someone out there who has gone through the same thing that they have and is able to come out on the other side of that and be like, you can do it too, that is something that I think honestly deserves a lot of praise. So even as someone who has dealt with things like that in the past as well. So it's something that I think we all can look to and admire, and that is something that I appreciate about Brad Pitt getting into with this article as well. But then he talks about being on his last leg in Hollywood. Fans of Brad Pitt might be disappointed to hear the actor claims that he's on his last leg when it comes to his acting career. Talking about life after his divorce from ex-wife actress Angelina Jolie, his path to sobriety, and his plans to take the helm when it comes to what the writer called the final stages of the leading man's career. The outlet posted the cover story in a piece published Wednesday. I consider myself on my last leg, Pitt explained, this last semester or trimester. What is this section going to be, and how do I want to design that? Out here in California, he added, there's a lot of talk about being your authentic self. It would plague me. What does authentic mean? For me, it was getting to a place of acknowledging those deep scars that we carry. So he really just gets into things that he is dealing with and things that is personal to him, things that are kind of private things that he has been struggling with. And then he really just talks about a lot of that type of stuff as well. And, I think that he's kind of going through, this point where maybe he's just getting tired of all of the fake nonsense of Hollywood. You know what I mean? I'm one of those creatures that speaks through art, Pitt explained. I just want to always make. If I'm not making, I'm dying in some way. Because I'd seen things of, so he then talks about some of the things that he has been dealing with as far as just like being part of Alcoholics Anonymous and everything else. And then he talks about like this really cool men's group that he's been a part of, where he participated in a really cool men's group that was really private and selective, so it was safe, because I'd seen things of other people who had been recorded while they were spilling their guts, and that's just atrocious to me, which I totally agree with that. So, you know, this is all really interesting stuff to see where people like Brad Pitt continue to go, and it seems like we're just continuing to see more and more stories like Brad Pitt coming out of different actors that are, you know, leaving Hollywood or wanting to leave Hollywood for different reasons, and I think people are just getting sick and tired of the nonsense that is happening there in many different ways for many different reasons. So I just wanted to make this quick video just to kind of talk about that, because I thought that it was really cool and honestly really important, and honestly good for Brad Pitt being able to, you know, speak about some of the stuff that he's dealing with and going through. You can go read the rest of the article if you want to, but that's all that I really wanted to cover about this. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe. I'd appreciate that a lot, and I will talk to you all in another video very soon.